In this video, we will use Grasshopper to make a simple attractor that could be the basis for a perforated screen or light diffuser or something. So we'll start by setting up a grid, and we use component. We double click and use rectangular grid. And this one asks for a size in both directions and extent, so the number of grid cells in each directions. So let's say the grid size is 50 millimeters as a starter. And then to control the extent, I want to set up a total panel size, which could be, for instance, 1200 millimeters in one direction and 400 in the other one. And then I want to divide the extent to our size. So now I make sure that the total length is 1200 and in the other case 400. So now I have a grid, and then I will find the center point in each grid cell, and I can find it by using area. So in this point, I will later make my circles. So if I now make a circle here, they will all be the same size. And let's say I want to make them 20 millimeter diameter. They will be all the same. So what I want to do now is to set up an attractor that makes the size of all these circles different. So I'll start by making some points. I will hide this one and this one. So I'll start by making some points in Rhino. So right click for multiple points. And I just add them at some random location. We can move them afterwards. And then I will reference them in. Select the points, right click and set multiple points. And then I will set up to find the distance between these points and all the other points. I will use the closest point command. Closest point. So now I will take these points and I will find the closest point to the points in the cloud. And this one is now a tree. I want to flatten this one before I think actually I will flatten it after the rectangular, so that I have all the data in one long list. At the moment I have now a lot of lists with a lot of data, and I want to flatten them, so I can flatten and like this. So now you can see that the data is all in one long list. So this distance is now a lot of different numbers, and that's a distance to the closest of the attractor points. So sometimes it's 94, sometimes it's 18, the closest ones, and so on. So based on this, I will find the bounds. I will find the maximum and the minimum. And then I know that the biggest distance is 300 and the lowest one is 9. And I will use these numbers to remap them. This is now my source domain. And I want to remap all these numbers to become my new radius. If I put them directly into the radius, I will get a lot of numbers which are too big. So I want to now make the largest one into a size that fits to my setup. So I want to remap these distances into a new radius. I will use construct domain, and then the start domain should be the largest number, and that should actually be related to the grid size. So actually I can use a division, and I want to be a little more than half of the grid size, so say 2.2. So now that I know that there will be no radiuses bigger than 22, and the smallest one can be a variable, so let's start with 4. This is my target domain, and the distance is all my value. So these remap numbers will now be in between 22 and 4 instead of 9 and 300. So I put them into the radius, and you see now that the ones closest to the points, they will be bigger, and the ones furthest away from a point will be smaller. And by moving the points, the pattern will change. That's it.